evenly divided that every time they vote, the race is so close they have to go back and count the votes all over again. And which means that any block, any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You can keep Johnson in Washington, D.C., or you can send him back to his Texas cotton patch. You're the one who sent Kennedy to Washington. You're the one who put the present Democratic administration in Washington, D.C. The whites were evenly divided. It was the fact that you threw 80% of your votes behind the Democrats that put the Democrats in the White House. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. And despite the fact that you are in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? The Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. only because of the Negro vote. They've been down there 4 years. And all other legislation they wanted to bring up, they've brought it up and gotten it out of the way, and now they bring up you. And now they bring up you. You put them first and they put you last. Because you're a chump. A political chump. In Washington, D.C., in the House of Representatives, there are 257 who are Democrats. Only 177 are Republicans. In the Senate, there are 67 Democrats. Only 33 are Republicans. The party that you backed controls 2/3 of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and still they can't keep their promise to you, because you're a chump. Anytime you throw your weight behind a political party that controls 2/3 of the government, and that party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you're dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race.
Welcome. It is Thursday. Welcome to the show, the No PC show. Testing out some new equipment tonight, so hopefully things will go. You probably see this microphone here. This is the Yeti microphone. It's supposed to give you some additional sound quality. So I'm testing it out tonight just to see what different settings will allow us to have. And my network is kind of blinking on me, so hopefully I don't lose too much, but I'm also recording it too. So what we got here is we want to talk tonight about the election. Excuse me. Upcoming elections all around the United States, but the big election point is the presidential election. Right now we got Donald Trump being able to be the ass that he is, and he seems to be winning for some reason. Continue to win, and even with his rhetoric of nonsense, that just shows you how screwed up America is, because he wouldn't be winning if a lot of other people didn't think that way. But before we get into that, we want to get into business promotions. I am the owner-operator of RPC Computing, located in Lansing, Illinois, 773-416-2955. RPC is your PC, repairs, upgrades, and consultations. Give us a call. Our next item or business is Something Sweet by Miss Terry. Cakes, Cookies Catering. Work with her. Me and my wife have tried a few of her things, and they've always been excellent. Her number is 708-781-5220. Rochelle Millsap, State Farm, not State Farm, I'm sorry, RE/MAX agent. She's a residential, but if you need some help with something that's not residential, but commercial, I'm sure she can connect you to someone. Her cell is 773-716-5541. Reach out, give her a call. Kevin Character King, spoken word artist. He is a, I won't say world renowned, but he's a Chicago known artist. And one day we're hoping that he does blow up and do bigger and better things. Right now he's got the I Am Character CD out there on iTunes and CD Baby. He's also got a book called Character's Book of Poetry. Does a lot of good stuff, and we always share a bit, so here we go.
I see new faces in old places. Places I grew up called home. And these faces in old places are faces not of my skin tone. Yet they come from various places, do these faces, to purchase themselves new spaces in these vacant places, which have now been renovated, upgraded, upscaled, and updated.
That's Kevin Character King. Reach out. He's available for bookings. 773-364-0491. King's Cubby Daycare, located 8825 South Colfax in Chicago. Phone number is 773-437-5108. Website is kingscubbydaycare.com. They're accepting children from the ages of 6 weeks to 12 years old from Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Always good to support black businesses. Let's reach out, support these businesses. We all need to support. That's the only way we're going to grow. That's the only way we're going to get out of these situations, which basically is going to take us into the conversation for tonight. And that conversation is about a lot of people that are looking at the Democratic Party are thinking Hillary or Bernie. Bernie or Hillary. For me, these candidates appear to be on the same page on a lot of different topics. They are saying the same things. But for me, it's not what they're saying, but are they able to deliver? You got Bernie Sanders, and he's kind of doing the same thing that Obama was able to do with getting the young people involved. Hillary has worked in the government for years. She's now serving on Obama's cabinet. We all know that she ran against Obama, and she did get a little salty toward the end of that run. Bernie Sanders is the veteran. He's been in the politics or as an elected official since 1981. So he's been in there over 34 years. So he's probably seen a lot of battles. He was a civil rights, I won't say leader, but he was an activist that participated in marches with King and others. He is a Jewish guy, which shouldn't discount him from being able to have a better picture of social issues. And a lot of people don't like Bernie because they say he's a socialist. Some say he's a communist. Some say he's what we need. My issue is, will he be able to galvanize the country as we hoped Obama was going to be able to galvanize the country? We had so much pride and hope when Obama was elected. He's a black man with one white parent and one black parent. And maybe a lot of people thought this could bridge a gap, seeing that he was raised more so in a certain type of environment. And then as he grew, he worked in another type of environment. He married a black woman, black children. So we say he's definitely identifying with his black heritage. We get a lot of rhetoric nowadays with Trump and others saying we're going to take America back. And I'm saying, take it back to where? We're going to make America great again. I'm confused. Didn't you all fuck up America? Didn't Bush tell these lies? Oh, it's all Obama's fault. He gets all the crap that you left, and then you penalize him for fixing it. I don't know about a lot of other people. Since Obama got in office, I've been catching hell as a black person. And we've been seeing black people all over America catching hell. Sure, it's just a coincidence. But that's discussions for another time. What we want to talk about tonight is Hillary and Bernie. There they are. These are your Democratic candidates. For some reason, at first I thought Bernie was way older than Hillary, but Hillary's 68, Bernie's 80. Not sorry, Bernie's 74. Like I say, Bernie's been serving for 34 years as an elected official. Hillary first came into office in about 2001, and then when Obama selected her to be part of his cabinet, she stepped down from the position that she was in from 2001 to 2009 and became sworn in as the United States Secretary of State, January 21st, 2009. When we look at candidates, and everybody can go out and do their own research if you want to know the site you're looking at, it's called presidentialcandidates.insidegov.com. It's a good site. It allows you to pick any candidates you want and make comparisons on a variety of different topics. It allows you to do reviews, read political backgrounds, read the resumes of the people that you're interested in voting in. Right now, I'm just looking at Bernie and Hillary. You can also find Trump and other people on this site. It gives you a good breakdown of a lot of stuff that you may not otherwise know. And so what I use this, like I say, just listening to the debates and things like that, you would often see where they stood on a lot of these topics. Like on the screen you're looking at now. Abortions, legal requirements hiring women and minorities. I like the way they changed this next one. Instead of saying are you against same-sex marriage? They've changed it and said, comfortable with same-sex marriage. This allows you not to agree with it, but to agree with it. This is the politics. This is the language that we must always listen to when dealing with people on any level. When people start changing the wording, like we're slaves, but now people are saying we were immigrants. That's the insanity that we're dealing with, right? There's not too much that I saw where there was a discrepancy, and some of the things that there were not really that big. On stricter punishments for reduced crimes, Bernie strongly disagreed on stricter punishments, and Hillary just disagreed. On the issue of absolute right to gun ownership, Hillary strongly disagrees. Bernie really didn't have an opinion. Expansion of Obamacare, which I hate that it's not called Obamacare. It's the Affordable Care Act. But again, it's the words that they use to diminish anything that this man was trying to get accomplished. And we all have our issues on what we hoped that Obama could accomplish for black people. And unfortunately, this Affordable Care Act may be the best thing, and that's not just for black people, that's for everybody. So when we're talking about a president, we're talking about the issues and what we're trying to get pushed through. Bernie talks a lot about free education. I think he's got about as much chance of passing a free education bill in America as throwing a baseball through an eye of a needle at 50 feet. That's something that would be considered a socialist program. And then it doesn't benefit anyone if there's free education. That actually takes money out of the economy. Most of your student loans are backed by the government. A lot of people defaulted on loans in the 70s and 80s, and now they're doctors and lawyers, and they never had to pay that money back. But a lot of other people, that loans may have gone into default. Me, myself, loans were bought out by the government. A percentage was tacked on. I think 15 to 25% was tacked on. And then the government came after you for their student loans. So free school doesn't give us any student loan money. We don't get to put no interest on that, and that's not going to work. So as great as it sounds, Bernie, I doubt if that's going to get pushed through. My angle is, who's the candidate most likely to defeat a jerk like Donald Trump, who is actually representing a large part of America and their thoughts? I believe that he would probably defeat Bernie Sanders, because your liberal socialist views, no matter how right and righteous they sound, probably aren't going to carry. He's got a lot of young folks on his side, and he's pushing that campaign, and that's helping him to really step up against Hillary. He went from really having no money to being able to raise about $94 million. Hillary has raised about $194 million herself. they've been going back and forth, knick-knacking at each other. You got your money from here, you got your money from here. Certain states, a lot of the southern states, Hillary's really campaigning at. Bernie's actually in town tonight here in Chicago. I'm not exactly sure where, but I know he is in Chicago, trying to gather support and things of that nature. Hillary was here a couple of days ago. She had Sandra Bland's mother doing the introduction for her, and she used that platform to talk about gun violence and programs that will help to stop the slaughter of people. Can't say black people in the streets. Stricter laws. A lot of people are holding stuff against Hillary because of things that Bill Clinton did, when we know Bill passed some of the stricter punishment laws that resulted in a lot of black men receiving healthier prison systems. Bill reformed the welfare system. He cut out government cheese, y'all, and we love that government cheese. But no one's going to give her any slack for the surplus of money that was left in the economy during the Clinton era, where at the end of his era, they were able to give money back to each state. And that state was able to take that money and was supposed to put it back into programs and things of that nature. But as always, the state cries broke, even though you just saw the state get a boatload of money. We're still dealing with a lot of state stuff with you guys elected official Ronner, who is still holding up the money from schools, predominantly the schools where a lot of low-income black people are going, Chicago State, Governor State. And these schools are being forced to change their schedules, close down buildings. Does that sound like a person who really cares? Too late, you guys elected him. I can tell you right now, I didn't vote for him, and I can show you where I told you not to vote for him. That's another story. That's the type of crap that happens when we don't sit down, research candidates, try to make an informed decision. It doesn't take much to get on the internet. I give you basic information, but it doesn't take much to get on the internet, look at a few things, try to support, see what these people are supporting, foreign policies, if that's your thing. People are always supposed to vote their conscience or what's best for them. A lot of people that are well off, middle class, upper middle class, whatever class they want to call themselves, tend to lean toward a lot of Republican beliefs. A lot of tax cuts for richer people, not paying their share of taxes. You're making $2 million and you're paying the same amount of taxes as a person that made $40,000, $50,000. Like the song was saying, where you heard Malcolm playing in the beginning. We can't continue to support these people and their policies that don't have our interests in mind. And in this case with Sanders and Hillary, I like Sanders and what he's saying. I just don't believe he's going to be any more effective as Obama. Obama had a good platform and everything and ran on this, and this, and said we're going to move this country ahead. And when you look at things, looks like things have moved ahead. everything's balanced, the unemployment's down, but they're still not going to give him any credit for that. Tons and tons of accomplishments made on behalf of the company because he is the president of the United States of America. He's not the president of black people. So while a lot of black people may have thought he was going to be able to do more for black people, I was never confused on that fact. I was just happy to see a black president, as many others, because we grew up being told that you would never see a black president. And I got the opportunity to meet a black president twice. Well, he was actually the senator when I first met him, and I was working a function, and I was the audio video tech on that function. And so I got to speak with Mr. Obama, congratulating him on his run for the presidency. And I got to stand and listen. Then I met him again at my church after the election. So the mindset went from we'll never see a black president to we got a black president. And this man, just like when Harold Washington became the first black mayor of Chicago, and he was met by constant opposition by the Verdoliak Act 21, years and years trying to get things done, and he was still successful at turning Chicago politics around for a while until his death. Obama has been successful in turning a bad economy around for shutting down some dictatorships, which I'm not in total agreement with that, because when Gaddafi and some of those people were in power, at least they kept the area under control. ISIS and these other groups are the result of those dictators by America's names have formed. So I'm one of those people. I don't believe the terrorists are mad at black African Americans, because they understand we don't run nothing. So who does that leave? We know exactly who that leaves. The same people that are asking for our votes now. They're out there, they're polling, they're saying whatever they feel they have to say to push their agendas. How much will they actually get done? What matters to you in this election? Is it school funding? Is it gay marriage? Is it civil rights? Is it employment? You got to make those type of decisions. You got to get online. You got to research. They're having all these primaries now. Watch a couple of these debates. Educate ourselves. Let's not just continue to vote Democratic because this is what Democratic is. There's all types of websites out here. Right now, I'm looking at one for, we got a big thing in Chicago where Anita Alvarez, who is the evil state's attorney, who can't seem to find it in her heart ever to get a case right. She's running commercials saying how much she's done, but at the detriment of a lot of black people, men and young men who have been sentenced because of her dropping the ball in her court. The big news now, the Laquan McDonald story. She's mad at Kim Fox, who's running against her, who's gaining a a lot of steam. I've only heard her speak once. I can't sit here and say I know everything about Kim Foxx. But Kim Foxx just picked up a few more endorsements. The Hispanic coalition had already dropped Anita Alvarez and said that they wouldn't support her for re-election. She wouldn't step down. The Sun-Times has just endorsed her. She also got an endorsement from the teachers union. And she also got one from the Democratic coalition, which Anita Alvarez refused to attend this function, and the other, Donna Moore, who is the other person that's running for state's attorney, didn't show up either. So Kim Foxx is starting to get a lot of momentum. This election is March 15th. And Anita Alvarez has to go. And that's just the bottom line. She's part of the system. She's part of the problem. You got to wait a few more years to get Rahm Emanuel, but he's next. If a lot of this stuff would have came out before the election with him and Chuy Garcia, he probably wouldn't have got elected because everybody would have seen how exposed he was. This is what I'm talking about. All this business as usual stuff has to stop. And your vote is what can stop it. Love, peace, soul. We out of here.